What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. In this video, I want to talk about the best way to kill the Predator in Predator Hunting Grounds, at least the free trial. I'll most likely be updating this video again, doing another version of this video when the base game releases. So in this video, we're going to be showing different gameplay clips of me, both as the fire team and as the Predator, and I'm going to go over basically what you need to do in order to take him out. Now, there are a variety of ways, and I'm looking at this more like a tips and tricks way. The only way to kill the Predator, obviously, is to kill him, okay? There really is only one way you can do it. Which weapon you choose, obviously, can be changed, but there are some things you definitely need to keep in mind in order to kill the Predator. I feel like as this trial has gone on over the past couple days, you can see kind of exponentially Predators getting better and better. Friday night, they were pretty much terrible, and that's not to the fault of the players, but as people have learned more and more of how to use the Predator, as they've unlocked things on him, like his staff, stuff like that, people have gotten pretty darn good as the Predator, and so it does make it a little bit more difficult to kill him. In fact, if you have a Predator that knows what they're doing, it is very, very difficult. So the first way, you're not honestly, I feel like, going to be able to take him on your own. Even my cousin and I, we try to do things. Sometimes you'll end up being in a match with only yourself and one other person. Very dumb. I don't understand how the game can let that happen. I hope that is fixed. That's something I want to be fixed. But we've tried it before. We've kind of like just backed ourselves up into a building, into a room, when like an objective is going on. But even then, if the Predator comes in there and he does a lot of melee kills on you, or melee hits, I should say, you are done for, okay? You really aren't going to stand a chance. So in terms of a wider team, you need to be close together. I'd honestly tell you, communication is not necessary. You do, it's okay, and it's probably better the more you talk to your teams. So if you have a microphone, stuff like that. But to be honest with you, I made videos doing tips and tricks and talking about, the best way of playing Friday the 13th back in the day. And one of the things I said even back then is, like, you don't really need communication. In fact, you could probably be a lone wolf there as a counselor and do almost just as well as if you were in a big group. Depends on your play style, and you have to do things a little bit differently. But in this game, truly, you can't be on your own. If you are off by yourself, you want to be with the main group, because if you do have a good Predator, and again, I feel like this is going to be more relevant when the game comes out, the Predator is going to take you out. If you're by yourself, especially as they continue to upgrade, they get traps, they get just all the stuff that they can get. You need to be in a group. You need to be spotting him. So again, communication is important in a way, and it kind of scales, again, depending on who you're playing with, or even if you feel like it, if you don't have a mic or whatever. But one of the things you have to do is you have to be able to find him. So a lot of times, especially in these earlier games that I've played, and since then, I've played about, I'd say, maybe 25, 30 matches of this game. So I've tried to get as much experience in as I possibly can. And one of the things I found is sometimes the Predator will just kind of give himself up. You have to, in a way, give yourself up as the Predator in order to attack. And as the Predator, again, you're looking to attack individually. You really don't want to go all in, because the fire team can hurt you even when you're doing an execution kill. The fire team can put damage in on you. So their job is really to separate you. Your job is to bring yourself together. Another smaller thing, this is kind of like a tips and tricks, is to get rid of the AI. Now, again, I think a lot of ways you want to look at this is from the Predator point of view. In my opinion, again, from playing as the matches that I've played, the best way, or the best time to attack somebody as the Predator is two different times. One, when they're all by themselves, right, in nowhere land, right, when they're just in the forest and all of their team is just far away from them. That is a good time to attack. Second time is when they're busy with other people, because they're too busy focused on other people, okay? And that's part of the reason why I've always said, and I said it in the last video yesterday, I said one of the things I want is to make the AI smarter, make them more difficult, maybe not inflict more damage on you, but at least make it so you have to deal with them longer, because that's the best time for the Predator to attack. Because if you're distracted, if you're reloading, if you're attacking them, Predator swoops in, he melees you, whatever he wants to do, maybe he nets you, he uses his, the long range attacks, whatever he wants to do, you're the most vulnerable when you're not, focused on him. That's why oftentimes when you kind of turn the table on the Predator, what happens? All four of you, most of the time, are on him, and you do a lot of damage. He runs away, and then you chase after him, and suddenly the hunter becomes the hunted. Don't know how I necessarily feel about that, but that is a way that, honestly, that is a pathway a lot of these games go, and that's one of the final things. That is what, honestly, you need to have happen to you every single time. In the matches I've played, again, I've tried to play as many matches as humanly possible. The number one way to get rid of the Predator and to ensure that you're going to beat him is to go on the offensive. Now, how do you do that? Again, it's not by going on by yourself. Okay, you need to stick with the team. You need to mark him. In my opinion, you need to do long-range damage to him. So when he's in the trees, I think it's best to attack when he's far away. I think that's a good time to do some damage to him. They probably won't heal because you're not going to do too much damage, but you get them a little bit lower. And again, staying together and eliminating all outside threats. Now, again, that is where the objectives come into place. So yes, because again, you could end the match by either escaping and doing all the objectives or by killing the Predator. And I just find that when you're not doing objectives, or when the enemies, basically, when you're not facing those waves upon waves of enemies, you are the least distracted. And when that happens, you're able to look up in the trees. You're able to see if, like, leaves are starting to fall, or, all the telltale signs. Sometimes you can hear him, or if he's healing himself, when he's doing, actually, I believe it's either way, but especially when he has that second wind where you can either give up or heal, he lets out a very, very loud, yelling sound. That could be one of the better times to attack him, because they don't heal, I believe. You do not heal all the way to full health when you do that kind of second wind heal. You heal yourself enough, I think, around halfway, and then you have to heal yourself fully again if they have that unlocked. But again, you want to turn the tables on them. It's a situation where I don't know if I feel comfortable with when the Predator feels like he's the one running away and feels like he's at the disadvantage. But at the same time, you got to stay close. You can't let him get up the trees, and the best way to do that is, again, by following him, by staying close. So while it may be a little bit weird that you and your fire team are literally chasing after this dominant monster through the forest, to be quite honest, that is what you have to do. You cannot give the Predator time to breathe, because especially if he gets in the trees, you don't want him to get back up in the trees. Harder to shoot at, harder to hit. He can just jump through a bunch of branches, and then before you know it, he's gone. He moves very quickly. He can cover a lot of distance very, very quick, something that you just absolutely cannot do. But like I said, the best time to do that is when you have nothing else going on. So maybe you want to take some breaks when you're doing the objectives. And to be quite honest with you, the matches I've played, the fire team's smart. Like, we all know what's going on. We know where to look for. And you know what? That's another thing. The more you play this game, honestly, both as the Predator and as the fire team, you learn how the other side does things. So obviously you'll learn where to go as the Predator. Obviously you can do the infrared, and you can kind of like locate specifically where the fire team is, or at least where one member is. And sometimes it gives you like false positives, which I actually kind of like. Sometimes it'll bring you to the AI. But you learn, okay, well, these are the spots that the fire team goes to. But as the fire team, you're thinking, okay, well, where can the Predator attack me when I am in a specific spot? Sometimes hiding in a building is the best way. And again, I think that, when that example in the beginning of this video, when it's just two people, if you do try and do that, you are going to be in pretty big trouble, okay? Because honestly, the Predator can just come in, hits you a couple times with his staff if he has it, or even just with the normal, his like sharp claws, and then you're done for. Maybe a grenade is the best idea, but the grenade takes so long to actually explode. Playing with less people is tough. To be quite honest, if you have a least amount of people, if you do not have like the 4 people, you have 3, you have 2, sometimes you even only have 1, which is an absolute joke. That's when hiding, that's when moving as quickly as you can comes into play. Now, there obviously are perks. There's, things like that. That's different. I want to make videos on that. I do think there are definitely some perks and some gear and stuff like that that is better for specific playstyle than others. I'm going to hold off on doing those kind of things until we get to the actual base game. I just feel like there'll be a whole lot more interest there. But guys, there's some of the stuff to look out for. I think that's about as good of a guide as I can give in the best way to kill the Predator. Stay together. eliminate all outside threats, and then you go out on the hunt. Again, while staying together, but you really want to eliminate all of the AI. Yes, the AI can actually make it a little bit more difficult for the predator because they will attack him and he'll have to, waste stamina attacking them as well. But for the most part, all it's going to do is really divide your team. They do more damage to you as a fire team than they do to the predator. So if you have AI still around you, and then the predator attacks, chances are you're attacking the predator, but at the same time the AI is hitting you and you are losing an okay amount of health. It's just not worth it overall. You really want to eliminate them first so that there's no outside, things going on, so you guys can solely focus on attacking the predator. And then once that happens, as long as you stay together, as long as you guys don't spread out and let him take you out one by one, I think honestly it is very easy, at least right now, against kind of predators that haven't learned how it works yet, haven't unlocked everything, which again will be changed in the future. I think that is the best way to go about it. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think? What are some of the better ways that you guys have found to take out the predator? Leave your tips and tricks in the comments below so other people can see. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel Podcast Now and hit that bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up. And I'm going to have more discussion videos over the next couple days, some really fun ones, some different kind of ones. I'm talking about this trial, talking about the future of predator hunting grounds. Very, very excited to do that. So again, if you guys like that idea, if you guys want to see me do something specific for this game, definitely also let me know in the comments and we will just go from there, okay? So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video.